swap. I know that I can tolerate a bit more dying for the sake of a bit more blasting, and so I decided to make that swap when I was looking into the prices of some of the stuff that I would need, and found that it was quite affordable compared to the price of some of the stuff that I would need in order to make the build substantially tankier. So I have once again embraced the glass cannon lifestyle and am having a great time. As for stuff I've learned, the biggest thing is probably that dark marionettes are not what we were hoping they would be. The respawn time on them has been increased from 1 second to 4 seconds, which is a huge difference. And so while it is still possible to get them to loop and create a constant aura for you, this loop is very easily broken, right? The window for their health to be staggered in is very tiny. And so once that loop breaks, it will almost never naturally reset itself the way it used to. And so I would recommend still using this setup, but not for something like Hatred, rather for something like a Zealotry that you will use as purely a steroid to burn down really beefy targets. And of course, with the Spectres automatically resummoning, at least you'll always have it up when you need it, as long as you're using it sparingly. Next thing I want to talk about is runic enchantments. These are, as expected, quite build defining. The most interesting one is still the soul gain prevention, right? You no longer have soul gain prevention on your Veil skills. Unfortunately, this is dagger only, which is not ideal for BV, but not game-breakingly bad news either. It just means that it is going to be a very expensive setup to get going, right? You're probably going to want a squire, you're going to want a very finely crafted wand, and so this is, something that I'll be still looking at a little bit later in the league. For now, though, I think the good early end game thing to target would be the Haunted Wand enchantment. This gives a substantial movement speed boost, which is not something we can turn our noses up at, because it is a stat that we thirst for probably more than any other, with the exception of skill effect duration. One thing to note with this is that if you are going to go for this wand loadout, I would recommend targeting a mid-tier wand base, something that doesn't have too high of an int requirement, right? The difference between a max tier base, something that doesn't have too high of an almost 250 int requirement, between and a mid-tier wand max tier base, something that doesn't have too high of 180 int requirement, 250 int requirement, between a mid-tier wand max tier base, something that doesn't have too high of 180 int requirement, 50 int requirement, between a mid-tier wand max tier base, something that doesn't have too high of 180 int requirement, 50 int requirement, between a mid-tier wand max tier base, something that doesn't have too high of 180 int requirement, 50 int requirement, next to